Hey everyone, today is April 29th and I will just get started. I saw some YouTube videos recently and shorts about women being stay-at-home moms or life as a stay-at-home mom as a Christian, like the things that they do around the house. Then I saw a YouTube reel yesterday of a man carrying a bag of like oranges or tangerines, but the video was about how life would be if we didn't have the things that women invented. And so as he's carrying these oranges, the paper bag that he's using just disappears because the paper bag was invented by a woman. And then just to go along with this with the topic of this video, I personally have been trying to, because there's occasional day of the week that I might not get out there in time, but I try to get up around 4 in the morning, and then I go walking before anyone wakes up, and then when I get back, you know, everyone is still sleeping, and I kind of get some stuff done while they're sleeping. And then I kept noticing all the signs in the neighborhood that are for sale or just real estate signs, the ones that are stuck in people's yards. Then a YouTube video, actually I think it was a short because it was pretty quickly, about this girl who had turned her backyard into like a garden where she just grows all her food in her regular residential backyard. And then I kept noticing Dolly Parton when I went to Walmart on these Betty Crocker cake mixes. And then on another day I go to the ATM, and ahead there's like a little hill up to the next level of landscaping where a building or a store is. And there was a woman standing there, and she had big blonde hair, and she had a dog, and my husband's like, hey, look at her dog. And I said, she looks like Dolly Parton. Like her profile, if you know what Dolly Parton looks like, her profile, she looked like Dolly Parton. It is what it is. I said it. So I was like, she looks like Dolly Parton, and I can't stop seeing Dolly Parton things. And then my sister showed me a Instagram video when I was over there yesterday, and a couple times before this, it just didn't hit me, except for I kept being like Dolly Parton, but it took me forever to figure out how this went with scripture or why it went with scripture. So it was a video of Jungkook of BTS, and he was at an award ceremony, and someone was performing, and his bandmates were kind of like making fun of him because he was crying and smiling, but he couldn't stop crying, even though he doesn't speak English, and he probably had no idea what the woman was singing. But the woman who was performing was Dolly Parton, and she was performing the Coat of Many Colors. And for some reason, as she sang that, it just brought tears to his eyes, even though he doesn't speak English. So I thought that was really cool, but still Dolly Parton. And then I saw a sign at this oil change place called Take 5, and my husband kept talking about getting the oil change, so it made this really stick in my head. But they had a sign that said they were open 9 to 5 on a Sunday. But Dolly Parton has a song, and she was in a movie called 9 to 5, and it's about working women. And I had no idea that Dolly Parton and Pitbull had a remix of her 9 to 5 song, so that was kind of cool. My sister had shown me that song. She's like, did you know this song existed? And I was like, here we go with this Dolly Parton thing. But now I know why it just kept showing up. And then today I saw a YouTube short of a woman who was going back to work, but her little chihuahua was so sad about it. And he really looked like Dobby from Harry Potter. If you ever watched Harry Potter, he was that little elf thing, but his little ears like flick back like this, and he looked just like him. And anyways, the dog was super sad because he realizes that now that every time she gets ready to go somewhere, he knows she's going to be gone for a long time. So that was the video that stood out about going to work. And then I kept thinking about Rumpelstiltskin, and that's that story where the girl, I'm pretty sure she has to grab straw and put it into a spindle and make it turn into gold. And then, just for the sake of this video, and I don't really talk about it very often, I have shared it one time in my video called Faith Without Works is Dead, and I talked about what I do on my Saturdays. Even though I honor the Sabbath on the Saturday, I do also spend that day feeding the homeless. And I have this thing going with the church where I ask for donations for some of the things that I can't buy on my own. And it was something I had been doing for a very long time before I reached out for assistance, because I kept thinking back, don't tell your left hand what your right hand's doing, and, you know, keep your things that you do to yourself so that my reward is with God. But at some point I couldn't afford to keep doing this on my own, and God was like, ask the church for help. So that's what I do on Saturdays. I think I'm going to change it to Fridays, but my husband and I go out and we pass out food to the homeless people. And that just makes sense because he kept bringing me the word downtown and songs with the word downtown in it, because it goes with this, because that's what I usually do. And then so weird, but yesterday my husband kept saying that today we were going to go to the laundromat because we have a comforter that needs to be washed. Now, regardless if my washer worked or not, this comforter is too big to fit in a home washing machine. It's a king size comforter, so just doing our laundry for our bed linens, okay? So when I read the scripture, I was like, I had no idea this was even in this scripture. And then I have a song called No Letting Go by Wayne Wonder, and the lyrics are, no letting go, no holding back, because you are my lady. When I'm with you, it's all of that. Girl, I'm so glad we made it, baby. No letting go, no holding back. When I'm with you, it's all of that. I really appreciate you loving me after all that we've been through. I really appreciate you loving me all times. And got somebody, she is a beauty, very special, really and truly. Takes good care of me like it's her duty. Want you right by my side night and day. So he's thanking this woman that no matter what they've been through, she's been by his side. She takes care of him like it's her duty. And I do have one more song that I will share, plus personal testimony to this, but I'm gonna wait to the end because the verse it goes with is closer to the end. So the scripture, let me get a drink, which is in the title so you guys know, is Proverbs 31:10 through 31, and it says, a wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, no harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with her eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but I literally went grocery shopping today. I'm at verse 15. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions to her female servants. She considers the fields and buys it out of her earnings, and she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. Oh, I forgot one. It was 1756. It was a Strong's number, and it meant to clothe or be clothed. Sorry. She offers coverings for her bed, so that's the comforter thing. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. Oh my gosh, I just thought of something else, but I'll say it later. At verse 24, she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. At verse 23 where it says her husband is respected at the city gate. My husband has been watching the city council meetings on YouTube, and he is like obsessed with them, and I did not realize that that kind of fits with this. So the last thing that I was going to share, I'm going to reference a specific verse. And it's verse 30 where it says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Now, I'm going to say a comment that someone had made a while back when the comments were on, that they thought that they were being mean to me, but it really made me laugh because of what my initial response was. The person on there said, okay, Miss Peggy, like making fun of my nose and that I am chubbier or I'm not a skinny girl. But it made me laugh immediately because my husband and I have been joking about this for years. One, I don't care. The pig nose thing, that's been going on since I was little. I'm totally numb to that. I don't care anymore. But my husband makes the absolute best Kermit the Frog voice. And so over these 15 years, fixing to be 16, that we've been married, we joke about how I'm like, man, I'm Miss Piggy and you're Kermit, and like it's perfect. We go together. It doesn't matter. I don't care what people say. So he does make this just, it's so good. It's like on point, the Kermit voice. So that's where I'm going with this, because the song lyric I have is called Look Here by BTS. It's one of my favorite songs. But this part, it's rap, it's RM's part. He says, you're sexy girl, that's important to me. You're my ideal type, let's get married. You're featuring in my daily life, weighing 99 kg. You're cute, you're pretty, the truth and reason. So I didn't remember that song until today, but I had a conversation with my husband last week, and if he was out here he can testify that it was last week. And my friend that I usually meet on Tuesdays, I met with her last Tuesday and I talked about this with her because we were talking about our husbands and things going on, and I had said that I was just feeling really good because I, in my insecurity for some weird reason, I was telling my husband, I was like, what if my eyebrows don't ever grow back? I mean, they're growing back, but what if they were still like stick thin? Or my hair is thinning, what are you gonna do if all my hair falls out? Or I'm trying to lose this weight, what are you gonna do if I don't lose it and I gain weight to where it was when we met? And his response was, what did I put? He said, if people get married because of looks, they're in for a big surprise because people change as years go by. And then he said all the things, my battery is low, that he says to remind me that he really does not care about my weight or anything, because this song where it says, my ideal, or you're featuring in my daily life wearing 99 kg. I don't know why I felt the need to look up the conversion of 99 kilograms to pounds. That's 218 pounds. And so I called my sister a long time ago when I read this, and I was like, hey, RM put that he likes girls that are 99 kilograms, which is 218. I'm not saying that he does. What I'm saying is it fits my personal scenario, because when I met my husband, who, by the way, when we met, if you would have looked up like physical fitness of an army soldier, and my husband's picture should be right there. Like, he was 8-pack abs, big gun show. He goes to the gym. He's more physically fit than I am. He always has been. But when he married me, I was 275 pounds. 275 pounds. And I had always been a plus size girl, and I had always been said, even though I wasn't in my faith, I'm like, oh God, I just wish that someone would just like me for who I am and not for what I look like, because I don't think I'm ever going to be able to lose this weight. I've been plus size forever. Lo and behold, here comes my husband, fresh out of whatever his situation was, because he had gotten divorced. And I was like, sitting in my office one day and he just shows up, and we've been together ever since. So I never would have thought that I would have a husband who did not care what I looked like. And in the years that we've been married, I went down to, my lowest weight was 165 pounds. And I fluctuated between them. At one point I got back up to 230. Now I'm sitting around 205, and I'm not ashamed to say that I wear a size 14 pants, sometimes a 12 depending on the store I go to. But I'm 5'2". Can I stand to lose some weight? Yes, I'm trying. I'm on a diet. I really would like to be 165 pounds again. But my husband is not going to stop loving me if I gain weight or lose weight, because, you know, in all honesty, I'm always like, well, you married me when I was like way bigger, so what am I so worried about now? And on my hair, when I was like, oh my gosh, what if all my hair falls out because my hair is thinning? And he was like, well, we can be bald together, or I'll just take you wig shopping. He has not ever once, even in all the ups and downs that we've had, if you watched our marriage testimony, that was a very trying time, but it was never about what I looked like. He's never made me feel like I wasn't the most beautiful person he had ever seen. So I'm always thankful for that. And that's how my life fits into that scripture. So anyways, guys, always find the light. Bye.